Hello and welcome to today's Exploring Tools session. Today we're going to be looking at how to use PowerPoint to simulate accessing web pages. You might want to do that if you're teaching in an environment with little or no internet access. So you might be in a community hall, you might be in a prison, or you might be in any environment where it's difficult to access the internet, in which case you can create a demonstration using PowerPoint and share it with your students. Now, to get started, we'll need to capture some web pages, and in this demonstration I'm going to use the ETS Enhance web pages. So you can see that I've got that on the screen. Now I need to capture some images, and I could do that with the control and print screen, but I'm going to use the snip tool. So if you just go down here to the start bar, I can type snip and up will come the snip app. You may already have Snip and Sketch. We'll use Snip and Sketch today, but both Snip and Sketch and Snip are very similar. So I'm just going to close that box because I don't want that on the screen. And I'm displaying the web page I want, and I just click New. The page will fade to grey, and then I just highlight the area that I wish to capture and use in my PowerPoint. As soon as I've done that, I get the opportunity to see the image I've captured, and if I go along here to the menu bar, I can save the image and I can give it a name. In this case, I'm going to call it the Enhance Home Screen, just to help me when I put the document together. Add a 3 because I've been practicing this morning, and then I can go on and capture the other pages that I want. So the next thing I want is the EDS menu. So that's on the screen. I can click on the snip and sketch tool again, do a new capture the same area, and I'm going to need to do that across all the pages that I want to capture. So I'm going to pause the video and do that off screen because it'd be very tedious to continue to watch that. And I'll be back in a minute. So now I've captured my pictures and I've opened PowerPoint and I've come in on a blank presentation. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to reset the layout to a blank slide, completely blank with no text box on it. And then the second thing I like to do is bring my pictures in and set them as a background. Now the easy way to do that is I right click on a blank space next to the slide and I go Format Background and then choose Picture or Text, and then I'm going to insert that picture from a file. Here are my pictures, so I want my Enhance Home page. And I'm going to insert that. Now, you see, I've lost the top of the picture. It's lost the menu at the top. And if you look over here on the right, sometimes PowerPoint just changes the offset. So I want the offset to be 0. And as I move it down, you'll see the picture changes. And I'm going to do that for both the top and the bottom. So my picture completely fills the screen and it's in the background whilst I'm working on the slide. So I'm going to add in the rest of my images and add some additional slides, and again I'm going to pause the video whilst I do that and I'll rejoin you shortly. Okay, so you can see here on the left hand side now I've added in all my pictures, and each of those is a background, just to keep the background out of the way of the links that I'm going to add in shortly. Okay, so on the first slide we've got a range of menus, and one of my first things is to mask out the areas that I don't need. So I'm going to add in some text boxes or some shape boxes to do that. And at this stage I will keep them blue so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got one there, and I'm just going to do a second one, and I'm going to mask out this area over here as well, and I'll just leave them so you can see them. Now in a similar way I want to use the same sort of tool but in a slightly different way where I want to have my menu. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it. Again, I'll leave them blue for the time being. So I shall want to have a link here, and I'm going to make that transparent. So if I look at the fill for that shape down here, I can go no fill, and then I'm just going to copy that using the keyboard with Control-C and paste it with Control-V, and I want to have a link on this menu here. So you can see I've highlighted the things that I want to create as a link. So if I click on any of the boxes and I right click, I can then add a link. Now, depending on what you've been doing in PowerPoint, it might come up and show existing web pages, or it might be one of these others. You want the places in this document. And you see that PowerPoint names the slides. I know which slide is which slide number because I can see the images down the left hand side of the screen. So on the web page, clicking on the ETF logo always takes you to the home page, which is the page I'm on. That's slide 1. So I will add a link to it. Now on the EDS one, I want to open the slide that has the menu on it, which happens to be slide 2. So I just literally click the link for slide 2. Now, these other boxes, I want to use those to mask the menus. I'm just going to change the fill in them, and I'm going to make those no fill. I'm going to leave the outline, oh, actually I'm going to make them white, so I want to hide the background. I'll leave the outline on so you know where they are. Now, here's a quick and easy tip on how to copy all 4 of these to a new page. So I just click off the page, highlight the grey box over the top. It picks up all 4 boxes. I'm going to do Control-C to copy. And I can now paste that and the links onto any other page. So I've changed the second slide and I'm pasting those on, and then the last slide has the same look and feel to it, so I'm going to paste those onto the last slide as well. Now I need to go through the different areas that I want to make into links, so I'll do that again here. I want to add a link here to this page. I'll keep it blue for now. Alright, and each of these I'm going to link to a new page. So in this case, the first menu item should go to slide 3, which is the introductory slide, and the second slide should go to the video guides, which I've got on slide 6. So I'm now going to work through my other slides, adding in the different links, and I'll join you again shortly. So I've been through all the slides now and added the different boxes for the links, and if I change the second slide, you can see here what I've done, and here I've added different boxes and links, and I've also hidden a section of the slide just here, and I've done this on all the different slides. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So on the first slide, you can see I've actually transferred those boxes and removed the outline so that it masks the page. And on the second slide, I've left the outlines in place so you can see what happened. So let me go into display mode and you can see what's happening. I'll just switch screens. I'm using 2 screens and it's gone to the other screen. So here's the presentation. If I click here, it comes to the home page, so we don't see any change. If I click here, the menu comes up. If I click on the Introduction to Essential Digital Skills, then again I can click on any of these items on the menu and the page changes. I can go home, I I can go back to the menu and I can go to the video guide. So you can see there how that works. So it's a very simple way of creating a set of web pages that you can use with your students in an offline environment. In the chat box and underneath the recording of this video, I will leave you a link to another YouTube video, not created by us, but it demonstrates how to use PowerPoint to create a mini website. So if you have any concerns about using any imagery because you don't have the IP for it, you can create your own website and use it in a very similar way with your students. Now obviously I've used the ETF Enhanced website, and ETF of course only IP to everything that's on there, so I don't have any IP concerns. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in our next Exploring Tools session.